going on, guys? My name is Naz and welcome to the Spooling Up channel. Today what I've decided to do is get back on the Fiesta XR2. It's the weekend, I don't have work, weather's banging, gonna get started on it. This time I'm going for the exhaust system. I'm gonna try and complete that today and start it up, see what it sounds like, show you guys the exhaust I've got and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's see what happens. Now let me just explain to you exactly why this car is so crucial to me. It's helped me out so much in ways that you couldn't imagine. I think I paid £240 for it or so a couple of years ago. I bought it with some tax rebate money, but I've taken so many things off this car. Any common parts that a normal Mark II Fiesta shares with an XR2 that I don't have for the XR2, I've been taking off this sometimes. Right now I had a bit of an issue. I didn't have the correct bolts for fitting the downpipe to the rest of the exhaust system going back towards the back of the car. So I was spending ages online looking for them, and then I've just thought to myself, why don't I just take them off the 1 litre Fiesta and see if they fit. So that's what I'm doing at the minute. I've got my impact driver down here, got my spanners down here, literally taking the bolts out of the flange, and then that is the last piece of the puzzle for me to fit the exhaust back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it now and then start piecing it up on the XR2. Right, so let me try and show you the underneath of the rot box. Here's the exhaust flange that I'll be taking the bolts out of. Already taken this one, so I'm literally going to take the one on the other side, and that will leave me with two, and then I'll just take this exhaust off and then yeah, start piecing up the XR2 one, and hopefully everything's going to be all good. Literally just underneath this car, brushing my arm on pieces of it, and it's just falling apart, man. Right guys, so let's talk through what I've got in the way of an exhaust at the minute. Obviously, you know, I've got the standard manifold on there and standard downpipe. The reason why I kept these is because I knew that it was a straight fit onto my exhaust system, and if I do want to replace anything, I want to go full stainless. I know there are a few people out there that make them from the manifolds all the way back. So anyway, here's the standard downpipe. Conditions rubbish really, but it's still going to work, and right now all I need to do is I just need it to work. So that's staying for the time being. Obviously got this ball and socket joint here with the bolts that I just took off the Fiesta. That's going to be all good. It's just going to link up like so with a little bit of paste. Now this is where I sort of get confused with this exhaust. There's loads of like welds and stuff along the way, and I'm not too sure, you know, whether it's loads of different parts from an exhaust system or not. Previous owner of this car did have an Escort RS Turbo as well, and I know people used to chop and change bits and bobs. So this is what we're working with. This is what we're working with. I'm gonna clean everything up nicely before it goes on, but this is the system, man. And I've been a bit tight really, didn't want to buy a new one, but if there's nothing wrong with this one for the time being, then it just doesn't seem like there's a point in replacing the whole thing for now. I want to quickly show you guys something as well. I bought this downpipe manifold gasket from Ford Fair about 2 years ago, and I went to put it on the other day actually, and it didn't fit, so I had to go and order a new one, and I'm very happy. This one allows all the holes to line up and it's looking good. So these two here are just slightly different, as you can see. Not too sure what car it came off, but it's not the right one. So let's go ahead and start putting things on. Right, so I've just given things a quick clean up, just so it doesn't look ridiculously ugly and dirty when I go to put it on. Looking pretty good. Let's work our way down the exhaust, and then in a minute, obviously going to start off with the downpipe, getting the downpipe on to the manifold, and then that's going to be it. I remember this sounding really good as well, but obviously it's been about 10 years since I started it last, but was it 10 years or maybe about 8 years or so, I don't know, but this used to sound wicked. So hoping it sounds good. And there was actually some kind of, let me show you, it was like, it's like a fossilized snail pretty much in the exhaust. That's how long it's been sitting there for, in like a little nest. So hopefully there's nothing else left in it. I've picked it up, given it a good shake while it's vertical, hoping that there's nothing in there sort of blocking it, but anything will hopefully just get passed straight out the back. Right guys, so I know I probably shouldn't have to. Here's the gasket. I'm just gonna put the tiniest bit of paste on this. I know I shouldn't have to, it should seal, but sometimes things like this need a little bit of help. So I'm gonna put a bit of exhaust paste on it, get it seated on, and then throw it up on the manifold. Forgot to just mention very quickly as well, I had to buy these nuts to obviously join the downpipe to the manifold because I didn't have any. So I also bought these copper flashed nuts, and yeah, as they were missing before, it's nice to get them, and obviously that's going to help me join everything up together. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the downpipe on and get these on as well. Right, so here we go. Got the manifold and downpipe connected now, looking good. Hopefully it just performs an effective seal. New gasket, paste, so on and so forth. Don't really see it being much of a problem. Let's have a quick look from underneath. It's looking pretty good. It's not actually that bad under here. It's not perfect, but it could be a lot worse. And then obviously can't really see it, but the joint up at the top. So I think it's about time that I put the rest of the exhaust system on now. I'm just going to join it up down here, and I'm pretty sure I have exhaust hangers in place under the car. I've just got to go and have a look, otherwise I might have to nick one off the other Fiesta. Right, so I've just taken these exhaust rubbers off the Popular, and one of them looks ugly, but they're both perished, but this one is in better condition than this one. But as I'm going to be replacing it, doesn't matter what one I put on. And I've also got one on the car already, you can see it just there. But what I'm going to do is, I think, I'm not too sure, I may be wrong, but I think it's a bit easier to have them on the exhaust rather than on the car. Little split. So I have to use the two that I took off the Fiesta. This one's completely gone. So I'll just get some WD-40 on that, and then try and push it off, and then there you go. You'll have to get swapped for the ones off the other Fiesta, and I'll have to order some new ones. This is a Powerflex one as well, so I'm gutted that it's broken, but it is what it is, man. Cheap part, whatever. Right guys, so let's see what stage we're at now. Got the exhaust here underneath the car, ready to be lifted up. It's going to go up on the rubbers first, and then lined up with the downpipe here at the front. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting it, mounting it on the rubbers now. So there's the back end of things up and mounted at the minute, and here's the box mounted up as well. Just got the front end of the exhaust sitting on an old steel, just until I can get the front bit linked up. Right, so here we've got the exit on the exhaust. That hanger all up and lined up. This one in here also. Rest of the exhaust just hanging down for the time being, but it's just sitting on the steel wheel there at the front. And it's time now for me to just link up the downpipe to the rest of the system here with a little bit of paste and the 2 bolts, and then that is literally going to be it. I'll leave it to dry and then fire it up, see what it sounds like. Alright guys, you'll have to ignore the cat fight for now. I've just got the exhaust pasted up on both sides. So now I'm just going to go ahead and link it up, and that is the last piece. Then I've just got to wait for it to dry. Time to give you a quick rundown on the whole system. So obviously we've got the manifold here, and it's now joined to the downpipe, as you can see it going underneath the engine. Here is the downpipe connection flange to the rest of the exhaust. The rest of the exhaust running underneath the car like so. Still got the back box propped up there, even though it doesn't need to be anymore. Everything's all tight and the exhaust can stay at the right angle, sort of just from the strength of this joint here at the front. So now I'll take you to the back of the car. So here we go. Obviously working back down from the tip, everything's all buttoned up completely. I could actually remove this if I want to. So there we go. Got everything on, sitting very nicely up into the concaves of the body, running all the way to the front. The only thing I'm worried about, I'll just show you guys now, is how close the tip is to the body of the car. Now when I was younger and I first bought this car, whenever it was running, the tip of the exhaust used to bang on the back of the car as you were setting off, as the revs of the engine dipped down to lower revs, like sort of before you stalled the car or whatever. As you're pulling off, the revs used to dip down, and obviously that's causing a bit of a judder, a bit of a jerk of the engine, and it used to make the tip of the pipe slap the body. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen, because if it does, I'm gonna have to give it a bit more of a twist, but that could be solved anyway when I get the new exhaust rubbers. So let's just see what happens. Do you know what, I literally just started the car for a second just because I literally can't wait, and some stuff flew out of the exhaust, so I'll just quickly show you now and then I'll record starting it. Some more nesty, spiderwebby, leafy, snail fossil shit fell out. So right, let's get on and I'll show you what it's like. Right guys, so that's where I'm going to end today's video. Obviously got the whole exhaust system on the Fiesta now, so that's manifold, downpipe, and of course the rest of the exhaust pipe itself. Got it running. Let me know what you guys think. I think it sounds absolutely sweet. Gave it a couple of little revs. What I need to work on next is actually getting the car running for longer, because it cuts out. Now I know I could adjust the idle screw and so on and so forth, but I don't know if that's been messed with. I would have thought if you take a car apart and put it back together, it should just be sweet, but maybe it does need adjusting. It's been ages, so need to look at a couple of things. Obviously I wanted to get the car running so I could start testing electrics, having a look at the interior, having a look at the loom and so on and so forth. So that's what I'll be doing next. And obviously plenty of other stuff on the other cars and so on and so forth. So guys, if you want to keep watching, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel, and also check out the Instagram page and so on and so forth. It's at the bottom of the description, and I'll see you guys on the next video.